Most ATM operators waste dozens of hours checking useless metrics. I check just 3 numbers each morning, and they tell me everything I need to know about my entire ATM business. After 20 years and millions in ATM revenue, I discovered the only 3 metrics that actually matter for profitability. By the end of this video, you know exactly what 3 metrics I monitor daily to maintain a thriving ATM business in minutes. So I used to look at so many data points in the ATM business. So some of these data points I usually look at is traffic patterns, communication errors, decline ratios, fallback issues, and return on investment. I truly enjoy business and I love the ATM business. So all this really didn't seem like work. But then what happened is I want to spend more time with my family. I had to make a switch. And so I had to come up with a shorter way to do what I love in a shorter amount of time. So that's where I came up with these principles. That way I could still maintain the same level in my ATM business, but spend a little bit more time with my family. So if you ever taken a speed reading class, most of you enjoyed reading the book. The whole process of reading the book and the enjoyment of the fulfilling part of it, that was just like me in the business. But I had to simplify it. I had to make it faster. So when you take a speed reading class, it teaches you how to shorten the whole process, maybe not read every word in the book, but get the general gist of what is going to go on in the story so you can quickly get the points and move on to the next book and learn some more lessons. This is what I did in the ATM business. I just made it a speed reading course, and so even though I enjoy everything about it, I just want to shorten it down to focus a little more energy on my family. So I call this the ATM Business Simplification Framework. This focuses on monitoring only what directly impacts profitability and requires immediate attention. This approach removes complexity and allows you to run the business in a truly passive manner. So we have 3 points. The transaction volume. This is a vital key to maintaining an ATM business. I want to track how much volume each month, is the transaction volume going up or transaction volume going down. And then, is there patterns in the transaction volume? So what I do is I compare previous months, maybe the last 18 months, and I look at patterns. Is it going up? And why is it going up? And is it going down, and why is it going down? And then I quickly identify, based on the transactional volumes, is it a viable location? Is there something we need to do with that information to change and make more revenue during that course of the month? Point number 2 is cash needs, cash thresholds. So we're pulling 18 months of data because we need to know is how much money we're going to get from this, what I call collection period, from the time we fill it up to the time we fill it up again. How long is that money going to last? One of the things we want to do is we want to make sure that we don't run out of cash. If we don't run out of cash, no transaction value. So we don't want to do that. Other thing is we run out of cash, then it makes a service call. And we got to use our time, energy, and resources to go out and fill that ATM during the time when it shouldn't have been filled. We're filling it to keep business and to keep transactional volume up, but we don't want to do that because it eats away our profit because now we got a service call. So we pull data from 18 months, we look at all the patterns in the last 18 months, and then we forecast what cash we're going to need in the ATM during this collection period based on last year's information or the trends. Now, last year's information isn't always 100% because maybe you're still going up, but it gives you a good basis to know when there's some new events that are coming. A lot of times in the spring, basically starting mid-February, that's a big time people get their IRS checks, and that is a big time for the ATM business. So what we have to do is we got to build up, but it doesn't start March 1st, it starts February 15th. We have to remember that. Sometimes we forget that. We're busy doing things. We can pull that transactional data, pull those cash thresholds from last year, and then we can quickly say, oh, we know what we have to do going forward in this quarter. And you're always doing that day after day to figure out those trends, and you can do it with history. It'll give you a reminder, and then you can look at where your volume is currently and how much you need to bump it up. Again, our goal is to minimize service calls, maximize the ATM. We don't want to put too much cash in there to deplete our resources, but we want to make sure that we don't put not enough in there, so we have to do a service call. And point number 3 is surcharge revenue. Now people say, well, Phil, surcharge revenue and transactional revenue, they're the same thing. No, transactional volume is different than surcharge revenue. In some locations, you're going to quickly identify that you can put percentaging on your ATM. What percentaging is, it could be $3 or 2%, whichever is greater. The percentaging works in some locations, not every location, but percentaging is a way that you can make additional revenue in certain environments. If you're able to do that and take advantage of that, I highly recommend you do that. But that is one of the metrics we look at. Okay, we're looking at how much revenue that we actually made in a location. Also, one of the other things is not every location is created equal. So although you might be paying maybe no surcharge commission in this location or 50% in this location, you have to quickly identify where is the best revenue for your company. You could be in a location where you might do 100 transactions and you have to give a bigger percentage away, or you could be in a location where you have 80 transactions, you don't give anything away. So it just depends on that, but you're looking at the surcharge revenue. That's a key indicator of where you want to focus your time, and you have to make any adjustments. Maybe after you put in a new location, it's not performing the way you want, you might have to make an adjustment. We're going to pull that ATM out, or you're going to renegotiate that contract because you're not getting the revenue that you were promised to, maybe by the store owner's decisions or what you forecasted. But surcharge revenue is a great indicator, help you make economic decisions when you're in the ATM business. So if you're interested in starting your own passive income business, I want you to join our checklist entitled ATM Business Passive Income Checklist, the 5 things you need to know to start your profitable ATM business so you can have a clear roadmap towards ATM business success. You can earn between $250 and $1,500 of passive income every single month. For more exclusive content, join our ATM Mastermind group page. Please like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you at the next ATM Mastermind video.